everyone, my name is Mike TG132, and this is Zach TG 132. I messed that up. We need to restart.
I'm Zach TGC. It's not that hard. Okay.
Okay.
And welcome to this CrappyPasta. And by creepy, we mean crappy.
Or shitty.
Or... So...
We're reading Game Boy Advance SP Blue Edition.
CrappyPasta.
It's made by Oni Plays.
Or 1Y Plays.
We will take turns reading the pasta.
Alright.
Zach will go second, and I'll go first.
Wow, I see how it is. I'm just a second.
It all started 53 years ago, back when I was a fully grown boy.
Little boy.
Shut up, I'm reading it from Oni Plays.
Alright. One day, while I was jumping through the street, I happened upon a large vehicle, which clobbered me violently into a nearby window. After getting my bearings, I looked up to see a young boy with a Game Boy Advance SP Blue Edition in his tiny little hands. I'd always dreamed of owning a Game Boy Advance SP Blue Edition, but my family could barely even afford gold.
He looked up with those big, vibrating eyes. His two lower teeth quivered in unison. Ma, he said softly.
Also, it quivered in confusion, so shut up. And this was my chance. I ran at him, screaming and stomping my feet, scrambling his brain in sheer confusion. I shoved him as hard as I could and grabbed his Game Boy Advance SP Blue Edition and ran out the door. And I leapt back and down the street towards my home. I pulled the door by its big, smelly handle and let myself in quietly. I snuck past my parents and shut myself into my room. I had made it. Finally, a Game Boy SP to call my own. I will have to keep it hidden from my family. I shouldn't ever allow them to know.
I have a big, smelly handle.
Same.
I'm talking about my door.
Yeah, I know. What I'm talking about,
I took the Game Boy SP in my small, beautiful hands and proceeded to slide the switch to on mode. I'll never forget that wonderful sound it made the first time I turned it on. And that wonderful Nintendo logo splashed my screen in sheer delight. I blew out my candle and pulled my curtain shut tight. I wanted absolutely nothing to get in my way of my first Game Boy Advance SP Blue Edition experience. Was he gone pocket?
Of course. Suddenly, a small man appeared on the screen. Shortly after, the word Mario started flashing behind him. I assume this man is known as Mario. I've seen adverts showing him on television. The title screen of the slowly lowered itself in the top of the screen.
Super Mario and the Legend of the Stolen Game Boy Advance SP Blue Edition.
My heart sank as I noticed a dead pixel in the lower left region of the screen.
Beggars can't be choosers, I thought to myself, and I pressed the start button with my fingy. With my fingy.
A vast landscape with clouds, bushes, and bricks appeared before my very eye, and there he was, the familiar Mario Man I had grown to enjoy.
Yahoo! I pushed left on the left button. Mario himself dashed to the left. Dust between his silly little brown boots filled the air. Amazed by his speed, whoa! I quickly pushed right to test his turning abilities. I was not disappointed, as Mario changed direction in a matter of seconds. I learned the other button functions as I played.
B allowed Mario to dash at high speeds. It also allowed him to die at high speeds, but that's not the point here. And similar to my own, A allowed him to leap so high into the sky that I screamed in fear, perhaps that he wouldn't come back down. And then you realized gravity's a fucking thing, you goddamn idiot. Yet, he always did, which engaged me in the game world even further. I quickly grasped the concepts of jumping large gaps, avoiding enemies, and climbing a flagpole at the end of each level.
I got to the 4th level without many problems. I looked near what my mirror left and smiled to myself with one eyebrow raised, and I said slowly, Does this game think I am not good? I can handle anything it throws at me. Oh.
Suddenly, the screen turned black. And I don't just mean black, I mean so black. The screen looks like a big, deep hole. It's a vagina. 10 out of 10.
I said out loud, Is this the hole I see before me? And it echoed like a hole.
I wiped a large chunk of sweat off from my flopping brow. That was weird, I thought, in a big bubble of text next to my forehead.
The level loaded, but this time it took a lot longer. Mario stood in place, so I pushed right and it began running. I noticed the graphics were getting all jumbly, and the music was becoming less like the Mario theme. Da 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 da, and more garbled, like brah, 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 brah.
I was nearing the first gap of the stage to jump over. As I drew closer, I readied my sweating and my pink thumb over the A button. The gap was there. I pushed the button. Mario didn't jump. He just screamed.
Ah!
I pushed left as far as I could, and he grounded to a halt right at the edge of the gap. I pushed A frantically, repeatedly tried to make him jump, but he just screamed and screamed. The camera zoomed in on my face as I pummeled that A button, trying to make Mario fill that air above his body, but all that filled the air was my friend Mario's screams of fear.
I said no more.
I pulled the cartridge from my Game Boy Advance SP and threw it out my window. It landed in some mud outside, and I laughed, and I closed the window. I turned around, and I saw that the cartridge was back in my Game Boy. Mud oozed from its cartridge slot.
I gasped and I said to myself, No, it cannot be.
The Game Boy turned itself back on, Mario's face appearing with hyper-realistic skin pores and bloody chapped lips.
He spoke softly. You were so OB for my human. Now I, Mario of Nintendo America Incorporated, curse you forever.
I screamed aloud, louder than an eagle of the night. There must be some way to undo this curse.
I decided the only way to rid myself of this curse was to beat the game. I ran up to the first gap of the level, I pushed A, and Mario just screamed again. I fell into the hole, and Mario lost a life. This is when I've noticed my skin began to rot and slightly turn green.
What on earth is happening, Mario? I asked Mario.
Every life you lose, I will make you not. Ha 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 ha! I'm Mickey Mouse. Ha ha.
I asked, how can I beat the game with only screams? I cannot jump gaps by screaming.
You, Mario said quietly.
I screamed. I decided not to beat the game in fear of me rotting. I decided that I was going to do the right thing. I ran out of my room, pushing my feeble mother out of my way in the hallway. I ran down the street to the boys' house. Thunder bellowed and rain pitter-pattered on my crying face. Finally, I reached the house. I leaped to the boys' window and let myself in. The room was dark. Boy.
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 Are you there?
Boy.
Boy.
Young man. I said, young man. Why you looking so down? I said, young man.
Young man. Boy, I cried out. Boy, are you there?
I turned on the light switch. As the room lit up, I saw many people dressed in black. They all cried softly.
Who the flip are you people? I asked with tears running down my chinny chin.
Oh, I didn't know he was a pig. Okay. We are this boy's family, a woman replied. I was his mother.
She pointed to the center of the room where a small white coffin was suspended over a hole. My heart sank. How about I be the kid that stole the Game Boy?
Okay.
Is that your boy inside that box?
I asked with an eyebrow and raised a finger on my chin.
Yes, the crazy person who broke into our home, ravaged our son, and stole his childhood by killing him.
Everything went slow. I dropped to my knees. I held the Game Boy tightly in my clenched fists.
Could this be my fault?
I asked myself politely.
Grape seed stuck in my mouth.
God damn it, Mike.
His mother walked over to me with a big fat tear stuck in her eye. She told me it really means a lot that a stranger would let himself into our home to pay respects to a boy he didn't know. I'm sure you two would have gotten along great.
Then she pointed to the priest and said,
Please lower our child to the earth now.
Wait. But he climbed up to the boy's room. Why is this in the boy's room? Wait a minute.
They made a giant hole.
Alright, well, the priest did just that. He pulled a lever with a shiny red ball on it. The coffin started going down.
I shoved the mother from and I sprinted for the coffin. I jumped on that coffin and the rope snapped. I began falling into the earth with the child inside. I heard the screams from his family echoing above.
I pried open the coffin as we fell and shoved the Game Boy into his tiny cold mouth.
Free me of this cursed child!
I screamed at the top of my head.
I noticed that we weren't hitting the bottom, and the darkness of this hole reminded me of the dark I saw in the Game Boy. So this would be what I saw before?
From the darkness, a floating black and white head of Mario appeared. He said to me,
In this hole, you shall fall with the dead body of a child. Ha ha.
And then he goshed and blurred away.
This is what I get for stealing, I guess.
I said as I shrugged.
Suddenly Mario appeared again. He said, "Wow, it sounds like you learned your lesson. You now be free. Bye." He clicked his mustache, and I was back in my room.
I looked over on my bed, and the Game Boy Advance SP Blue Edition was gone. My mother opened my door, and she said,
My son, my beautiful son, I will make you eggs on toast.
and she threw it on my bed, left with a smile on her face.
I realized maybe stealing not okay. I looked up to the sky and said, "Thank you, Mario," inside Game Boy.
Everything would be alright, though the child remained permanently dead. His mother could always play his Game Boy Advance SP Blue Edition to remember him by, thanks to me.
Check out the video. That will link in the description.
Yeah, this one right here.
Just check out the animation that's in the comments.
Alright, there's an animation in the comments. Ah, shit.
Yeah, there's an animation in the comments and I like it.
I make you eggs on toast is my favorite comment so far. Hey, this guy gets it. I liked how the boy's coffin was inside the house, suspended over a giant hole. See? What the hell?
Yeah. This is a piece of artwork and it should be on Troll Pasta. It should be on CrappyPasta and get the credit it deserves.
I quote this pasta on a daily basis. Does this game think I am not good? Has become an official part of my personal phrasebook.
We need to say that more often. Zach, we need to say this. We need to say, does this game not think I am not? Does this game think I am not good?
Does this game think I am not good? It's almost as great as if one's way like